So today we're going to be talking about two new Transformer items, but not so much about their content, but so much more about the boxes that they are in. We're going to have some box talk today instead of bot talk. These are two items we've already seen. We've seen them multiple times, different ways. Some people already have these products in their hand, but it's more about the packaging and everything like that they're coming in, and just to kind of reiterate what's going on now in the Transformer world with some brand new boxed product. So the first one we're going to cover is some Transformers Rise of the Beast stuff. Some of this conversation will be a little bit spoilery, so if you want to avoid talk about that, just kind of slide a little bit ahead in the segment when we get to the more non-spoilery kind of stuff, which is related to Legacy. But let's talk about it. We have the first look at the packaging of the Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Rise of the Beast SS-99 Battletrap, the Terrorcon. Now, these packaging images are starting to show up now because distributors have started to ship out the product of the Voyager class to different retailers. Hasbro put up their Hasbro Pulse pre-order. These are starting to show up in the stock rooms of many different locations with a NDA to not put it out yet until April. But of course, that doesn't stop people from taking a few pictures in the back and everything like that, and a few, disappearing from the stock room and ended up into private collections. So, what are we talking about here? Well, it's really just about the packaging of Battletrap and what's written on there. What we know now about the Battletrap figure, we know that it's going to be coming with a backdrop from the attack at the museum. The backdrop is what we pretty much saw in the trailer when Bumblebee and Scourge were fighting. We have that same backdrop that is shown there. And what's written on the back is it says, Battletrap fires a barrage of blasts at Noah and Elena. Those are the two main human characters in the movie, to secure the transwarp key. And we all know what transwarp is in Transformers. So, I don't know if I should have to spell it out to you, but that's definitely some time travel. Some different continuities and changing the past for the future. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, keep that in mind. And that's just something that's going on there. What's another thing that I just kind of want to point out also is on the packaging itself, you have the control stock art that's used for Battletrap. And Battletrap, if you look carefully at his forehead crest, he has a Decepticon emblem on his forehead crest. But next to Battletrap's name on the front of the packaging, he has the Terrorcon emblem there. Now, keep in mind, and I've said this before in the past, and I even talked about it with the Beasts, Rise of the Beast segment, a lot of this control stock art, and this goes all the way back to the early Michael Bay movies, like even the very first one in 2007, that a lot of this early control art is never a strong representation of what the final render and the final character is going to look like. There's some really rough-looking Megatron art back there that looks nothing like the final product. But again, it's out there. It's used on cups. It's used on, bath towels. It's used on posters and everything possible. And of course, it's used on box art. So this is probably another one of those cases too, where we have something where in the early designs of this packaging art, and of course this art that's going to be used to multiple different licensors, that the Decepticon emblem is still left on there. It's very unnoticeable unless you really look for it. But he is indeed a Terrorcon, and that's kind of his story within that world. So just kind of want to point that out. Again, this is going to be in the hands of many people really soon, and Battletrap looks like a really cool Voyager class toy, so can't wait to check him out. The next one we're going to be covering here comes all the way from the other side of the globe in China, and that of the Hasbro China Tmall website. Now, Hasbro has had a really good relationship with China, and they've been doing a whole bunch of exclusive products and reveals and everything like that on that other side of the globe. And their Tmall website has had a few exclusive items and pre-order items throughout the years. And this is no different. They're going to be doing a special kind of little thing here just in time for the Chinese Spring Festival, aka Chinese New Year, in that of if you buy the 5, essentially what they have here is on the website right now, you could pick up Motormaster, you could pick up Dragstrip, Wild Rider, Dead End, and even the Legacy Evolution breakdown to complete all your Stunticon members to make Menasor. If you buy all of them in one shot, the first 100 orders will get all 5 of them put into this special box, this cool little special box set, and then it'll also come with a little enamel pin that is based off the original Menasor Generation 1 1986 box art. And again, at the end of the day, this really is, they're taking just the individual packaged product and putting it into a larger box with some unique art on it and just kind of creating this box set kind of scenario. But it is pretty cool that they're doing that, and it's kind of stuff that a lot of American fans would have been down for also if this kind of stuff existed, but it would have been a very expensive packaged product when you think about it. 4 deluxes with the current MSRP and 1 commander class, let alone if you want to actually add a little value to the pin also of like an extra $5, let's say. But it is still pretty cool. And again, it's what's cool about it too is that back in the day, Mark and Evan, they said like, you know, the breakdown figure itself, despite the fact that it's a Legacy Evolution figure, while all the other figures of Dragstrip, Wild Ride, Dead End, and Motormaster are just Legacy OG figures. The Breakdowns box art has the traditional Legacy packaging that kind of create that shelf appeal and that uniform look across all the figures. And I think it also adds to the fact what's going on here, where when you buy this, this is all a Legacy imprinted and packaged kind of product, all in one shot. So pretty cool. I dig what China's doing here with that. It would be kind of cool if we got something like that, but at the same time, the margins, how expensive would it have been, and for it to be in retail, I think it would have been a little more difficult. So only 100 of these will exist, but when you really think about it, it pretty much means only 100 of these outer boxes that are holding it, which in the end, the contents are just the original packaged product that we have here, and those pins. So it's really the pin in the box at the end of the day that there's only 100 of, but it is something cool to kind of point out that, hey, look, they're doing like big box sets of these combiners. It's kind of the same thing too, how here in America, when we had Combiner Wars, initially anyhow, a lot of the Combiner Wars characters were sold individually, and then Japan had their United Warrior big box sets. Of course, we would get our own big box sets later on with other unique entities and stuff like that, like Computron and G2 color schemes. But the point is that it shows that there is a potential that when we see more combiners in the future, that big box sets could exist, even if some of the limbs are commander classes. So pretty cool. I dig it. Let me know what you think. I mean, I'm really curious where we're going to go in the future when it comes to combiners, at least in the retail space. We've already seen what's going on with Japan. Now it's something where we're going to see what happens with the retail space here. Japan with obviously the MPG line here with, of course, everything with Legacy and our Generations flavor. Still pretty cool. Let me know what you think, guys. More Transformer news coming later this week from the Transformers Slag podcast. I'll talk to y'all real soon.